All right, get ready because today we are diving deep into some seriously cutting-edge science.
Deep diving, I like it.
We're talking about Xenobots 3.0,
Yeah,
living robots. This stuff is like straight out of science fiction.
it really is, and it's fascinating stuff. When people think robots, they usually picture metal and circuits.
Right, like C-3PO.
Exactly. But Xenobots flip that idea on its head. These are robots built entirely from living cells, and not just any cells. We're talking specifically about frog embryo cells.
So no gears, no bolts, just Zot frog cells. Okay, that's pretty wild. I mean, how tiny are we talking here?
We're talking smaller than a grain of rice. These things are microscopic.
Wow. So let me get this straight. These microscopic frog cell robots, they're what we're calling xenobots.
You got it.
Okay. So what can these xenobots actually do? I mean, they sound cool and everything, but
So think about traditional robots, right?
hmm,
They're great at predictable tasks, assembly lines, manufacturing, that sort of thing, but they're not adaptable. Throw something unexpected their way, and they
Cool.
basically just stop.
right, they kind of fall apart.
Exactly. But Xenobots, they have the potential to adapt and react to changes in their environment.
Because they're made of living cells.
Exactly. It's like comparing, say, a robotic arm on an assembly line to a school of fish navigating a coral reef. The fish can react to changes in the reef instantly. They're built for that.
I'm starting to see where you're going with this.
And this is where things get really interesting. What makes Xenobots 3.0 so revolutionary is their ability to self-repair and even reproduce.
Okay, hold on, back up. Self-repairing robots. I get that, kinda, but how does that even work with living cells?
Well, if a Xenobot gets damaged, it can actually use its own cells to heal itself, kind of like how our bodies use cells to repair a cut. It's biological regeneration at a microscopic level.
Wow. So these things are basically like miniature living organisms programmed to act like robots.
Exactly, and the reproduction thing, that's where it gets really mind-blowing.
Yeah, you said they can reproduce. How can a robot reproduce?
Right, so they don't reproduce in the traditional way like you might think of with animals. Instead, they gather loose cells in their environment and basically assemble them into new xenobots.
So they build copies of themselves.
That's one way to think about it, yeah. It's this completely new form of self-replication that we've never seen before.
Okay, so we've got these tiny, self-repairing, self-replicating robots. What does this mean? What are the potential applications of something this advanced?
The possibilities are almost endless, honestly. Let's say you have a polluted lake, right? Imagine releasing a swarm of xenobots into that lake. They could break down pollutants, and at the same time, they're replicating so the cleanup effort becomes faster and more efficient.
So they could be like little environmental superheroes cleaning up our messes.
Exactly, and that's just one application. Think about the medical field. Imagine xenobots delivering drugs directly to a tumor, minimizing side effects on healthy tissues.
Oh, wow. Or even repairing damaged tissue, like from the inside.
Precisely. These are just a couple examples, but they really highlight how revolutionary this technology could be across numerous fields.
It's incredible, but also, I gotta say, a little bit unnerving. I mean, self-replicating robots. Doesn't that sound like the start of some, I don't know, sci-fi thriller about robots taking over?
I understand the concern, but it's important to remember that we are a long way from that. This technology is still in its infancy, and we are just beginning to explore its potential.
That's a good point. We're still in control for now.
Absolutely. And with any new scientific breakthrough, especially one as potentially groundbreaking as xenobots, it's crucial to have open discussions about ethical implications and safety measures as the technology develops.
I totally agree, and I think that's a good place to leave it for today. Xenobots 3.0. Self-repairing, self-replicating, microscopic robots made from frog embryos. The future is wild, folks, but is it something we should fear or embrace? We'll leave you with that to ponder.